Okay, I hold a competitive programming class. Have I talked to you all about this before? I know I've talked to you about this, but the people coming from OOP? A little bit? I don't remember. All right. So competitive programming, what this is, there's football competitions. We do have programming competitions as well. And we actually get to compete against other people in the Southeast, a region of the US. If we win, we do get to go to the world's finals, by the way. And this is actually really helpful for improving your coding skills, as well as just having a lot of fun, because I really enjoy doing this. After taking data structures, you probably are going to be a lot better at this competitive programming than beforehand. But real quick, I want to tell you why this is actually very useful. You learn a lot of algorithms. We did go through a couple of algorithms, but in this class you're going to go through a lot more, and you're going to know how to understand the mathematical insights, how to code and debug them quickly, how to figure out what the big O is so you can figure out when one solution is going to be a lot faster than another, as well as how to work with a team, which is very important when you go in for a job because you will be working with a team. It's going to definitely sharpen your coding, data structures. You're going to learn a lot about how to make each of these data structures, as well as a couple more data structures that we didn't get to in class. Naturally, your algorithm skills as well. I have worked for Google, and I'm going to basically tell you, I'm flat out that this really prepares you for the job interview, because this is basically what their interviews are, including Microsoft as well. I interviewed for Microsoft. They do something very similar to these competitive programming. So if you want to go for a job interview or you want to do an internship, I highly recommend taking this course and come and talk to me about it, because this will really help you land that internship with Google or even Microsoft. Also, I think it's a lot of fun. Hopefully some of y'all have competitiveness in you. You get to compete against other teams. But I know some people are competitive. I still recommend you take this course because it is a lot of fun to see how well you can grow with your programming skills. And it also gives you a gauge about how well you're doing relative to others. So I don't mind. If you're not competitive, please, I understand that. Just tell me beforehand, and I'll help you out. All right, who should take it? Pretty much anyone who wants to improve their programming skills. If you're really interested in being a computer scientist or a programmer, please take this course. The prerequisite is actually only one of the following, OOP or linear algebra. Right now, I do allow some math majors in for certain reasons that are actually very helpful in this. Currently, it's Thursday from 2 to 4 in 207, but it's only offered in the fall. It's 2 hours, but you can take it twice for up to 4 hours. Actually, you can take it more times if you want to, just for fun, but you only get up to 4 hours credit for it. Now, first off, has that caused any problems with people being able to take that time? Like, is that a bad time for people, or y'all just don't know? If this ends up being a bad time, please come talk to me. I can easily shift that around. And I may change you to a 1-hour class and have it offered every semester. And I think this is actually a little better, because then it helps maintain your programming skills, which is what you really need to be doing for these competitions. And you slowly build your repertoire up over a long period of time, as opposed to trying to do like a crash course as well. But again, you'll still be able to do 4 hours credit. Yeah. Anything beyond 4 hours don't count towards your elective credit, but you're free to take more if you want to. Yeah, you'll be solving problems quickly and correctly. We have some regional competitions and as well as some onlines you can compete against as well. All right. So what do these things look like? Easy example, they may give you 12 floating point numbers on separate lines and ask you, what's the average of the given number? All right, that one hopefully is trivial for y'all right now. But I have seen something similar to that before on a competition. More of a medium to maybe medium high level might be more of a graph problem. For example, they might have a setup where we have in cities with bidirectional roads connected to them. It is guaranteed that there is a route from any city to another city. That means that they are connected. Hey, look, which data structure does this look like? Graph. G is a postal worker and must deliver K letters to various cities. She can start and end her delivery in any city, given the destination cities for the K letters and the definition of each road. Find and print the minimum distance Jenny must travel to deliver the K letters. Notice the letters can be delivered in any order. This may sound daunting, but it's not too bad if you actually sit down and think it through. So they'll give you what all the routes are in the cities, and then ask you to code up.
I was about to say, they gotta give us something, right?
Oh yeah, they're going to give you all the cities. They're going to give you all the roads. And starting into find the minimum distance you must travel. So there'll be a distance weight on every road, and you have to figure out what the minimum distance is. So we come up with quick examples for that. By the way, there's plenty of other ones. I just gave you two right now. There's a lot of there's some good math ones as well, with some number theories and combinatorics. There are some geometry ones out there as well. And there's even some basic graph algorithms as well that you can do well on. Okay.
What language are you using for this class?
For this class, you're allowed to choose from a list of languages. I usually do mine in Java, but you can do it in C++ or Python, or I think I allow C# as well. If you really want a different language, tell me. I'll see if I can support it. But usually those cover it right there. The math person usually chooses Python, hopefully for obvious reasons, because they don't understand Java or C++ yet. But in the competition, you're allowed to use I think there's 20 languages you can choose from. Even some crazy.
You said this is only offered in the fall.
Right now, it's only offered in the fall. I want to change that to have it 1 hour offered every semester, but I'm going to see how that goes. First off, I need to get competitive security down the next semester first. Yeah. Any questions?
How'd you guys do this last fall?
Well, we didn't get skunked, which was good, but we had a couple of issues. I guess team building issues that we didn't. We practiced a bunch of math problems, and then there were no math problems on the entire set. So that's why I want to go to 1 hour, because then I can spread what you're practicing. Because if I knew there were graph problems, I could tell you exactly what to study, and we probably would have easily gotten a medal actually out of it. But if it's 1 hour and I'm jumping around between math, graph, deep dynamic programming, which I haven't gone to here, and other traversal problems, then yeah, we would have gotten a medal as well. So beforehand, I've gone 3 times, and 2 of the 3 times we have medaled actually. So we don't do bad. We just need to a little bit of a slump this time, right? But yeah, any other comments or questions about this? Yeah. All right. Any other questions, guys? Please go to this. These are a lot of fun. I think it's not the course is not hard. With the 2 hour version, there's no midterm or final. You're graded by, I give you some programming assignments on HackerRank, so you have time to do it, and they're not timed on HackerRank when you do it. So you have plenty of time to complete them, and then you just need to compete in a couple of competitions, and essentially my grading is, did you actually try? Prove to me you tried, and then you'll get credit there. So it's not a hard class to get a good grade in, and it helps your programming skills significantly as well. Yeah, any questions? All right, before I stop this one, the evaluations are open, so please do your evaluation. There is always room to improve a course, so please tell me if there's something you didn't like besides the amount of work in this class. They always say the workload was high. I seem to always get 5 out of 5 for that.
I wonder why.
I always get that one.
You definitely could have had
Feel
one.
it. Now, don't even y'all be spiteful this time, but I should give you like a 4 just to be that way. I understand.
Not enough work.
Not enough work. I need more labs. At least double it, at least. I understand that. The point of all of the labs is not to overload you with work. Hopefully you can see that there is just a lot of material to get through in this course, and the labs broke it up into manageable chunks. That's my goal with the labs. So that's why there's 23 of them this time and 4 projects. If you have a recommendation about how to, I guess, fewer labs but still teach or make sure I can assess your understanding of it, tell me. But you really need to be solid programmers after this course, because the other flip side of this is, hopefully you'll all become better programmers. Yeah, okay. that's the flip side of this as well. I mean, the only way to do that is by coding, so hence 23 labs. But obviously, there's probably other things I could do to help out. Maybe you would like to have seen more test cases, or more of how to do test cases. Maybe I can do better on that. Or I've realized that with pointers and Big O, I really need to make like daily practices or something with those two, so they're really clear. I'm getting the feeling those weren't perfectly ingrained this semester. But yeah, anything else like that, please tell me, because I'm definitely always evolving the course. Don't tell me something's bad and then not how to suggestion how to fix it. That doesn't help me. In other words, just be constructive. Ah.
How many, the next class is the operating system?
Next class should be architecture.
Oh, yeah.
After this one. You want to take architecture next.
What's the workload like in that? Because I know OOP was 10 labs, this one was 23. Is it
The workload's gonna be similar to OOP. But it's going to be, it's not something, with OOP, if you were a good programmer, you could do all the labs in like last week class, no problem. You're not gonna be able to do that in architecture. Look, I know what's going on, all right? I'm not dumb. I'm not dumb. I know how it works, and I'm actually okay with that for OOP, but it's not gonna fly in architecture. It'll be 10 labs, and you're gonna have to sit down and think. There's no way I can break it up like data structures, so 10 labs is a little harder than OOP, but your workload is not gonna be data structures level. In fact, I don't think any of your other courses' workload will be at the level of this.
So will we have like a leg up in architecture compared to the people who are taking the cybersecurity route?
Yes, yes. Although not as much as you may think, because architecture is very, very different than what you're used to. You'll find that out very quickly, because things like a binary tree are way too difficult to implement. So we can't use that. You basically are down to arrays. You can't even really use a linked list because that's
What language are we using?
Verilog. Yeah, exactly. Whenever I teach that course, I just want to come in and say, and now for something completely different, because
Yeah.
I know you're used to coding guys, but we're just going to drop all that and figure out what's going on. And the reason for that is architecture, we're trying to explain to you how a computer works, and the programming language is, you got to start with, electrons, and programming languages are very far from physics. So we got to do a lot of physics, then some electrical engineering as well.
Sweet. Already took it.
I already took physics. Well, no, it may or may not help. Did you take electricity and magnetism?
No.
No, well, then that didn't help you any.
Well, dang it.
How to do circuits, yeah. And then it works differently, because here you're used to one thing happening at a time. You execute one statement, then the next statement. With architecture, everything's happening at the same time. So it's just very different. It's very useful, because you'll understand how no pointers happen, why segmentation, well, not all of segmentation faults will make sense, but a lot more of it will. Why is buffer overflows an issue, stack smashing, et cetera, et cetera. So there's a lot of explaining what's happening under the hood. How can you write one algorithm that's O squared, and then write the same O squared algorithm, but add a couple of for loops, and then it's 10 times faster for apparently no reason? I'll get to explaining that as well. So there's a lot of little things. Oh yeah, any other questions about architecture? All right. And actually, lastly, let's go ahead and do the review. You want the review on November 29th, which is technically the last day we meet, to do a quick little review for the final exam. I haven't written the final exam yet. I'll get it out there.
Yeah, that's fine.
Fine, okay. Monday, I don't have class. You don't have to be here for class Monday or Wednesday. If you just want to take the final, I'll go ahead and post the final probably right after Project 4. And let's see. We'll do a review on November 29th. All right. That sounds good. Any other questions, guys? Okay. Well, it's been a lot of fun. I always enjoy it. I love this class. Hopefully y'all can tell. It's one of my favorite classes to teach. Really, I think it takes everyone from, I guess, starting programmers to, hey, look, you can now join a project online and be pretty helpful in coding. All right. Well, that's all for today. You still have plenty of lab time, and I'm sure no one has completed their labs or projects. So, of course, you have plenty of time to complete that as well, and I'll be here for the rest of